Joining me now, Democratic Congressman Tom Malinowski of New Jersey. He was barricaded on lockdown for hours inside the Capitol yesterday. So, Congressman, first let me start with this. We're just starting to see more videos coming in from offices of some of your colleagues of the destruction of congressional offices this morning, things stolen, what was left behind. Tell me what happened to you during the attack, what you saw, what happened.
Sure. Thank you. I was in the House chamber when we were forced to evacuate. I guess our first sign was seeing the Speaker of the House, the Majority Leader, taken out by their security details. Shortly thereafter, we could hear banging on one of the doors, police frantically urging one another to barricade the doors. We were asked to take out our gas masks, which are found under the seats in the House of Representatives. There was a wailing siren made by each of these gas masks, which contributed to an atmosphere I've not seen in this House in my time here. And then our wonderful House chaplain, as we were being escorted out, comes to the microphone and starts making a prayer to Almighty God, which also I thought was a lovely thing to do, and yet also contributed to the sense that we were on a ship that was rapidly going down. We were safe, of course. We were taken to a safer location. There were staff in the Capitol who I've spoken to who literally had to barricade doors with furniture, who hid in darkened offices under tables as these terrorists were banging on the doors. This was an incredibly difficult situation for a lot of people. And look, I'm proud that despite all of this, we did our job last night. We were not intimidated, but I do not think it is enough. I do not think we can simply say we certified the election and we can go home.
So let me ask you about this, because Lieutenant Colonel Vindman, who obviously was testified during the impeachment, he was on earlier and said, so many countries saw this, and they didn't actually just see that the United States was like other countries in terms of something like this happening. That was shameful and embarrassing. They saw that, but he was emphasizing that what they really saw was the after part. Right? Was that Congress came back last night and you all did your job. And he's raising the same point that you're raising, which is that isn't enough. The question is, though, then what is, Congressman? I mean, I know you're calling for impeachment. Do you have concrete Republican support for this? Is this anything that could actually happen?
Well, let's back up for a moment. Right now, the executive branch of the United States is in complete disarray. It is led by a man who is borderline deranged, who is responsible for having incited a violent attack against the United States Congress to stop us from doing our jobs. The most important thing right now is for the legislative branch, for Congress to remain in session. I think it was a mistake for our leadership to send us home last night. Although people are frazzled and tired, we need to be in these buildings. We need to be working. Absolutely, we should be considering everything from impeachment to censure to Congress doing its part to invoke the 25th Amendment, which the Constitution allows us to do. We need to be reckoning with the role of law enforcement in our country in dealing with white nationalist far-right extremism and terrorism. We have been lackadaisical about that. There's legislation we could come back here on Monday and pass. There are a whole host of things that we can be doing and we should be doing because they are right and because we want to show the American people this institution is functioning even as the president is degenerating into whatever he may be right now.
Well, certainly he hasn't been for quite some time. But yesterday, obviously, even I'm just talking on a very practical, logistical basis, Mike Pence was running the country, right, in terms of the National Guard and those things. But I understand you want impeachment. I understand your point about the 25th Amendment. Do you think censure would be enough? If that's all you could get, would that send a statement to the world, to the president? Do you think censure is a reasonable outcome here, or you actually believe you've got the support to go further?
It has to be tested. I spoke to several of my Republican colleagues yesterday. I'm not going to speak for them. That wouldn't be fair to them. But there are significant members of the Republican Party who not only had the integrity to vote against this charade yesterday, but I think would be ready to support action against the President of the United States. I don't know how far we could go, whether it's censure, impeachment, or the 25th Amendment. I just know we need to be here working on that. Right now, the legislative branch is the only branch of our government that can govern, that is led by sane and competent people. We need to be doing our jobs.
All right, Congressman Malinowski, I appreciate your time and thank you very much.